Hello everyone and welcome or welcome back. Since it is the beginning of March, I thought it'd be fun to make a little TBR of the books that I want to read this month. I've never been really big into making TBRs because I'm very much a mood reader, but last month in February I did a 24-hour readathon with my boyfriend Leon and we had so much fun, and if you missed that video you can watch it. I will link it in the corner. But I made a TBR for that 24-hour readathon and I really enjoyed having a list of books that I could pick from. When the 24-hour readathon was over and I wanted to figure out what books I wanted to read next, just casually, I didn't really know what I wanted to read and I ended up gravitating towards that list that I made for the 24-hour readathon of the books that I didn't get to during the 24-hour readathon. And I really enjoyed just having a TBR or like a list of books to kind of go from, because it just sort of takes the guesswork out of it. Sometimes when I don't know what to read, it's just very daunting. I just stand in front of my bookshelves and I have no clue what to pick. So I thought it'd be fun to make a TBR for March. March is going to be quite a busy month, so I'm hoping that I get to all of these books. If I don't, then that's okay. It's not a very big list, but it is some books that I've been meaning to get to for a while. So anyway, the first one is our book club pick for March and April for the Game of Tomes book club, and that is Middlemarch by George Eliot. I am really enjoying it so far. I'm really loving the tone of the story. I'm really loving George Eliot's writing style, also just getting to know the characters. I'm really enjoying it so far, so that's good. It is, I don't know if you guys are feeling this way as well, whoever is participating in Game of Tomes. I can already tell that this is going to be quite slow-paced, which is kind of what I expected, especially from this type of novel where it's just kind of an examination on society and marriage and the roles of men and women in the society. And so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I just have a feeling this is going to feel slow throughout it, but fingers crossed that we all enjoy it very much. But I am enjoying it so far, so that's very good. It's just the pacing is quite slow, which is, it might change, you never know. I'm only 3 chapters in, so there's going to be much more to discover with this book. The next book that I have picked out is from my Penguin Little Black Classics collection, and I read Dante's Circles of Hell in February, which was a Penguin Little Black classic, and I want to read through more of them, so I have picked this one for the month of March. This one is Michel de Montaigne's How We Weep and Laugh at the Same Thing. I've been meaning to read Montaigne. I hope that that's how you pronounce his last name. I think so. I've been wanting to read Montaigne for a very long time. This is number 29, and the back says, glittering essays by the Renaissance master of the form, exploring contradictions in human thoughts and actions. And I always hear amazing quotes from him, and I've wanted to read his work for a very long time, so I felt like this is a good place to kind of dip my toe into, get a taste of his writing, and see what he is all about. Montaigne wrote and revised his essays between 1570 and 1592. He was born in 1533 and died in 1592. Wow. Okay, I think it's separated into different sections and essays. So the first one is How We Weep and Laugh at the Same Thing. And then the next one is on conscience. The next one, Fortune is Often Found in Reason's Train. The next one is On Punishing Cowardice. The next one is On the Vanity of Words. And the last one is To Philosophize is to Learn How to Die. Wow. Okay, well, I'm very excited to read this, and I will let you guys know what I think. This next one I've been meaning to read for ages, and that is The Return of the Soldier by Rebecca West. This is also a beautiful edition from Virago Modern Classics that I was gifted from my friend Kiara. So Kiara, if you're watching, thank you so much. Okay, the front flap says, Chris Baldry returns from the front to the women who love him, his wife Kitty and his cousin Jenny. But Kitty is a beautiful stranger to him, and he recalls Jenny only as a childhood friend. Chris remembers Margaret Ellington, whom he loved 15 years before. Though the years have changed her, Chris sees the girl he fell in love with. The women have a choice, to leave Chris in the past where he wishes to be, or to cure him. It is Margaret who reveals a love so great that she can make the final sacrifice. So I believe it's about this war veteran who comes home from the front very changed, and how the people in his life kind of have to adapt to that. And I'm fascinated by war stories and how the war affected people, and I just really, really love learning about people, or hearing about people's stories during that time, or how war affects people's relationships. So this sounds really fascinating, and I've been meaning to read it for a very long time, so I feel like now would be a good time. It's also not too long as well. It's like 140-ish pages. So yes, very excited about this one. And I just love that cover. So beautiful. This next one I did put on my TBR for the 24-hour readathon, but I didn't get to it, and that is Ghostways by Robert Macfarlane, Stanley Donwood, and Dan Richards. It says 2 journeys in unquiet places. And then on the back it says, a hauntingly beautiful diptych of works inspired by Robert Macfarlane's travels with celebrated collaborators to 2 eerie corners of England. I've been meaning to read this for ages. I love Robert Macfarlane's writing. He has written some of my favorite books like Landmarks and what is it called? Underland. Okay, that's what I thought. And Underland. I think he's just such a wonderful nature and environmental writer, and I've been meaning to read this one for ages, so very much looking forward to this one. And it's also illustrated. It has beautiful, very beautiful illustrations throughout as well. Yeah. Ooh, so pretty. Yeah, they look like they're just like pen and ink. Yeah, so beautiful. So I will let you guys know what I think about this one as well. I would really like to get to it in March. Then the last one is another one that I believe, I'm like 99.9% sure I put it on my must-reads for 2024, which if you missed that video, I'll put it in the corner. I made a list of books that I had to read in 2024, and this one is on it because I started it in the beginning of 2023, and I never finished it, and I would really like to finish it, or restart it. I think I want to restart it, and that is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This is such, first of all, a beautiful book on the outside, but also on the inside. When I started reading it, I was loving it. Her writing is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, just some of the most beautiful writing I've ever read. But I don't think I was in the right mood for it, although I could recognize how beautiful the writing was. It's about William Shakespeare's family, his son and his daughter and his wife, and it's mainly not so much about William Shakespeare, but about his family, which I think is really interesting because I feel like a lot of historical texts surrounding a famous person like William Shakespeare, it's usually about him. Like there are a million books on Shakespeare, but there aren't that many books about his family, which I just think is really beautiful to, you know, acknowledge them and share their story. So it says, on a summer day in 1596, a young girl in Stratford-upon-Avon takes to her bed with a fever. Her twin brother, Hamnet, searches everywhere for help. Why is nobody at home? Their mother, Agnes, is over a mile away in the garden where she grows medicinal herbs. Their father is working in London. Neither parent knows that one of the children will not survive the week. Hamnet is a novel inspired by the son of a famous playwright. So it doesn't even say is inspired by the son of William Shakespeare, it just says by the son of a famous playwright, which I think is intentional. I mean, it's definitely intentional, but I like that she made that point of it's about his son, not so much about him. And it says, it is a story of the bond between twins and of a marriage pushed to the brink by grief. That just, oh, it sounds amazing. It's just such a beautifully made book. This is the UK edition. I ordered it from Waterstones because there are sometimes I love the UK editions so much that I just have to order them from the UK. So yes, I am very excited to read this. I hope I get the chance to in March. I will try to make the time to. But yes, my #1 priority really is just to read Middlemarch. So yes, but that's also March and April. We have 2 months for that one, so should be fine. I also always pick up random audiobooks, so wait till the end of the month and you could see if I pick up these books or if I pick up some other books like on audio or something. Sometimes I am much of a mood reader, so I will pick up different books throughout the month depending on my mood. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing what books are on my radar and which books I'm hoping to read this month. I would love to know what books you are thinking of reading this month, so definitely let me know in a comment. Thank you guys so much for always being so kind and wonderful and lovely. I hope you are having a wonderful beginning of the month, beginning of March, and I will see you very soon in another video. As always, happy reading!